International Women's Day!
Woo-hoo!
So, what does International Women's Day mean to you?
I think it's just a celebration of any accomplishment that any woman has ever done or will do in the future. I think it's something to be proud of, to look back, and any women that you know of in your life, they had to go through something. It's to celebrate them, to celebrate us.
What it means to me is being, this might be really general, but being the best woman that I can be. Meaning, well, for me, it means going to work, doing my absolute best. By setting that example, I feel like not only myself, but the other women that I work with, we pave the way for other women behind us.
To me, it means celebrating womanhood. We have a lot of things to be proud of as a community, as a group. Women's International Day is just collectively celebrating all the good that women do.
Women's empowerment, that's what it means to me. So like equality.
What does International Women's Day mean to you?
I'm not sure how to answer it, but I think it's, it's a big deal, like, as a woman, like being recognized, like having like this day or an event that's specifically for women, like recognizing like women around the world,
Why do you think Women's Day is important?
I think it's just something important to acknowledge and to celebrate, because I think throughout the history of just mankind, women have always kind of been thrown to the sideline and been like seen as like a lower class. So I think it's important not just to acknowledge that past, and to also try to build for a better future.
It's a day to celebrate their accomplishment and to celebrate what they're capable of doing and bringing it into the table.
So, what woman do you look up to the most?
My mom.
Probably my mom. I know that's super cheesy, but I really respect my mom.
My female role model, I have two of them that I personally know. My mom, of course, but also my nanny Rose. So she raised my uncle and my aunt and my mom by herself. Wow, she amazes me, and my mom has the same like power, and she's passed that down to my sister, my brother, and I, and she just made us really strong, independent people.
Honestly, my mom. She's been there forever, and she's helped me through some of my hardest times in life.
I would definitely feel like my mom is also my role model. She's always been there through tough and easy stuff, always cheering me on. Every little accomplishment, there she is behind me.
Probably just a generic answer of my mom. I mean, she's sort of been there my whole life. It's kind of hard not to look up to her.
This is probably the part where I should say my mom, but actually it's probably my Aunt Michelle. I've always really admired her. She's a doctor, she's a mom, she like quilts in her spare time. She's kind of like the modern Renaissance woman, where it's like, wow, you have a career and a family and you do all this really cool like creative side activities. Like, she's life goals essentially.
What have you learned from women in the workplace?
I don't know. So I feel like with most women I've worked with, from what I've seen, they've definitely worked harder, and they're definitely much more organized. And I think that's something I try to take away.
What have you learned from women in the workplace?
That they're just as good as men, and they can perform the same skills, if not better, than we do sometimes.
And what advice would you give to other women in general or in the workplace?
Some advice that I would give women in the workplace is that don't give up. There's a lot of challenges that we might see because we are females, that we might feel like we are having boundaries. We do not have boundaries. We just need to break them down.
What advice would you give other women in general or in the workplace?
Advice I would give, well, this is actually advice that someone gave to me, is that not be afraid to speak up. I think that's kind of hard in the workplace when you're so surrounded by really loud men, to be putting your voice in there sometimes. And so I know that's something I'm still working on, but I'd throw that to somebody else too.